G'day everyone. As most of you know, we're in the middle of a health pandemic thanks to this COVID-19 bug. As a result, we're restricted to social distancing and self-isolation. Here in Victoria, the government has made it quite clear that we're not allowed to go fishing and we're not allowed to go hunting. We are to stay home unless we have to go out for essential reasons such as work or to get groceries or go to the doctor, etc. So they've actually come out specifically and said no fishing or hunting, as well as many other things. Now, a lot of people are saying that they want to go fishing, they like to go fishing for exercise because fishing is a great form of exercise. Is this right? Is this true? Let's find out. Rightio. Now, with these current self-isolation rules that have been brought into place, the government here in Victoria is saying we can't go fishing or shooting and most other things, but we can go and exercise. I don't think they want us to drive long distances and then go and exercise. I think they're saying we can go for a walk around the block or a walk around the neighbourhood or a bike ride or something to stay close. Now, a lot of people are saying they should be able to go fishing because fishing is a great form of exercise. But is it really a great form of exercise? Well, as many of you know, I'm trying to lose weight, and I recently bought a watch that tracks my calories and how far I walk and my heart rate and everything, and I just happen to record a lot of my fishing trips. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share with you some of the stats from some of my recent walking and hiking trips, as well as some of my fishing trips. Let's see where we burn off the most calories and just find out for real just how good exercise fishing is. Right, let's start off with this one. This is a walk from my house. Actually, this is one I done this evening. I only got back from this about an hour ago. I was gone for 1 hour and 9 minutes. I just went for a walk. The government says we're allowed to walk from home. I went for a walk from my driveway out the road and back. I walked for 1 hour and 9 minutes and I walked 6.42 kilometres and I burnt 702 calories. So I walked for 1 hour and 10 minutes and I burnt 702 calories. That's exercise. That's going for a brisk walk out the road and back. My heart rate was up. In fact, I think my heart rate averaged around about 130 beats a minute. So that's exercise. That's what exercise is done. You burn 700 calories when you exercise if you walk 6.5 kilometres over 1 hour and 10 minutes and you're a big bloke like me. Here's one that I've done a couple of nights ago with my wife. We walked 5 kilometres in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So the same time, but didn't walk as far because my wife's got shorter legs. So I had to walk a bit slower. And I burned off 432 calories. So a good exercise regime, a 5 kilometre casual walk, burn off 432 calories. This one here, this is a big one. This is a big bushwalk up in the Warby Ranges that I've done a few weeks ago. 5.96 kilometres, but the trick here is elevation gain 164 metres. So I've done a lot of hill climbing, which would have pushed my heart rate right up. And as a result, in 1 hour and 35 minutes, I burnt off 1,015 calories. So I burnt off 1,015 calories walking for 1 hour and a half over and just a bit under 6 kilometres. So there's some good examples of what you should expect from an exercise, or from a guy my size. Bear in mind, someone that's smaller and younger and fitter probably wouldn't burn a fraction of those calories doing these walks. But that's what I've burnt. Now, while I'm still this size, let's look at a couple of fishing things. This is where we're going to determine, is fishing really good exercise? This is a recent kayak trip to Lake William Hovell. 3.25 hours. This is a video that I made recently when I caught a whole heap of little redfin at Lake William Hovell probably a month ago, 6 weeks ago. 3 hours and 15 minutes or a bit under. I paddled for 6.5 kilometres and I burnt 990 calories. So I burnt 990 calories on that fishing trip, whereas this afternoon I only burnt 700 with a really brisk walk out the road and back for over an hour. So my exercise, as the community perceive it to be, I burn off less than what I did on this fishing trip. That pretty much answers the question right there. Fishing is very good exercise. Here's another one recently. This is a Murray cod fishing trip. 2 hours and 56 minutes and I walked 4.24 kilometres, but worth noting I burnt 1,112 calories. So I walked less and I walked much slower, but I burnt more calories. How does that work? I'll tell you how that works. When you're fishing, you're walking up and down the bank. Each time you walk up the bank, your heart rate races right up because I'm not real fit. So my heart rate goes up and I churn through the calories, climbing over trees, walking through long grass, lifting your legs higher as you trudge through long phalaris grass. That burns more calories than a casual walk down a footpath. And then what about when you're crossing the river and you're walking in the mud and you've got to lift your feet out of the mud? That really gets the heart. That's hard work. So that's a workout as well as a walk. So 1,112 calories. The only difference between the calories that I burn off while fishing as opposed to the calories that I burnt off while exercising is that the fishing calories took me a lot longer. 3.5 hours or whatever it was and 4 hours to burn off the amount of calories as opposed to a normal exercise regime being around about an hour or hour and a half in my case. So folks, to answer the question, is fishing good exercise? Absolutely it is. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. So it's great exercise. That's that rumour squashed. It's not a rumour, it's true. But now let's just talk on a more serious note. This afternoon on the Prime Local News, they announced that a lady in Albury passed away from coronavirus. She was 74 years old, and if any of her family members watch this channel or are watching, I send out my most sincere condolences. Now, let's just picture this lady came back from overseas and then had to go and self-isolate, which is exactly what she'd done. But while she was self-isolating, she became ill. She became ill to the point that she had to call an ambulance yesterday, and then she passed away in intensive care last night. Now, in that time between getting back from travelling to feeling ill, had she not quarantined or self-isolated, imagine how many people she could have infected. She could have gone to the grocery and got a few things and passed it on to the bug onto somebody at the checkout or the service station. She could have even passed me at the service station last week, filling my car up with fuel, and then passed the bug on to me. And right now, I could have coronavirus and not even know. Which means that when I go fishing tomorrow, I go and get fuel, I could pass somebody in the doorway and give them the bug. I could leave the germs on the nozzle for the fuel tank. I could leave the germs on the little thing that you pump your tyre up with, the tyre pumper-upper, or whatever you call it. the air compressor. I could leave germs on there and I could infect other people. And while on myself personally, I'm not overly concerned about the coronavirus. If I get it, I get it. I'll deal with it at the time. Hopefully it doesn't get me too bad. I'm a big believer that when your number's up, your number's up. When God wants you, he'll take you. So hopefully I don't get it, but I'm not losing too much sleep over it. But I don't want to pass it on to anyone else. I could have it and not even know. Thankfully, that lady was told to go into quarantine. As soon as she got off the plane, she had to go straight to isolation and quarantine herself for 2 weeks. So chances are she hasn't infected anybody. But that's how easy it can spread. Now, we're talking about a bug here that it did infect 27 people from one wedding reception. 27 people in one go. Look at what's happened with the Ruby Princess, with the big ship. How many people on there are now falling ill, and quite a few of them have passed away. One nursing home in Sydney, there's been a big infestation of the bug, and it's knocked a few older people over, and it's really, really sad. So I think, yes, fishing is a great form of exercise, but I think at the moment, during this crisis, the very best thing we can all do is unite together, just stay home. We can go a few months without going fishing. As Steve Starling said, when you go out to your favourite isolated rock in the middle of nowhere, sure, you might catch a feed of fish, but you're not going to catch a bunch of bananas, 2 litres of milk, or the cooking oil to cook your fish. You still need to go to the supermarket at some point in time. So, folks, let's just do the right thing, stay home for a while, sit it out, tidy up our sheds, which I need to do and I've started doing, organise our fishing gear, which is going to take me ages. Put your feet up, catch up on some TV, on some movies, because the more we stay at home now, the more we're going to suppress this bug, and the quicker we're going to be able to go out and go fishing again. And I've got to tell you, from a personal standpoint, it's not just fishing. I had something quite exciting to look forward to in my life that was about to happen, and it's been called off. It's been postponed until after this. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, it's private, but I really want this more than anything in the world. So the quicker we can get this bug dealt with and over with, the better for me, the better for you, the better for the community in general. Let's cop this season on the chin, folks, because next year we're going to be able to go fishing again, I reckon. And I tell you what, the fish are going to be bigger, fatter, and hungrier than ever before. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, why not give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully you'll join me in my next video.